I think there are a couple of factors that are pushing more people to take an interest in the industry, to become a driver or even a mechanic or, something like that. Because, and I think safety, the safety of the vehicle is a big one. And I also think just like you really can't go outside right now and not see a huge demand for freight, right? I mean, the market is the market's exploding.
The market is exploding. Freight is cyclical, but we're in an uptick right now that nobody that I've followed or have read up on is predicting anything short of just being the freight market just being on fire, maybe all the way through 22 and into 23. So, and it's consumer goods right now that were propping us up, but I think you're starting to see probably more new construction and stuff firing back up now that the pandemic is starting to level out. But yeah, the consumer goods flying across the United States have created a shortage of trucks, right? There's not enough trucks, there's not enough drivers, and there's not enough technicians to take care of the trucks to meet all the demand, which of course means freight rates go up, and that eventually hits you and me in the wallet, right? Those things get passed along, and then that's fine. But yeah, so manufacturing shut down for a while in the spring of last year, right? No trucks were being made, but the freight continued to trend up and get hot, and now we're in the middle of a chip shortage of all things, which is affecting manufacturing of all kinds of things, but that includes trucks. So fleets are hanging on to their equipment longer because they can't replace it with a new one. March, a record number of new truck orders were placed in March, right? So when those get manufactured and those start hitting the market, then there'll finally be more used trucks available. Right now, the used truck market is just extremely tight, just because trucks are needed and trucks are selling like hotcakes, and they're selling at premium prices, quite frankly.
That's incredible. And this is, trucks evolve from, box trucks to tractor trailers, right?
Yeah, probably the fastest growing segment of trucking the last 5 years, maybe a little longer, is it's kind of the Amazon effect. It's that final mile, box truck, straight truck, even small truck, the Sprinter vans that you see everywhere, every single day. All that segment of trucking is just blistering as well. So all kinds, sizes, classes, shapes of trucks are in high demand right now, as well as drivers.
Right. So, incredible. Yeah. That really is incredible. And it's funny because I've seen Amazon. I've seen Amazon. They bought old mail trucks. They bought, the Penske trucks, which they didn't even do a good job painting. They bought, minivans, whatever Amazon could get their hands on. They're just slapping the logo on it and driving around.
Yeah, I saw, surprised me the other day, just down the street from my house, I passed an Amazon truck that clearly used to be a bread truck, right?
Yeah.
That kind of truck, not a Sprinter. It wasn't new. But it had a new paint job on it, and someone had gotten into the business of final mile delivery with Amazon and found a truck and painted it the company colors, and off to business they go. So yeah.
But that is something. Amazon's Amazon, but that is something that people looking to get into the industry, people who want to be owner operators, it's something they could keep in mind. You could get a truck. You have to get trained. You have to have your CDL, but you can get a truck and move and start picking up loads. It's a possibility for you.
Yeah, you can do it as lightly or as heavily as you wish. There's the industry is opportunity from top to bottom. You can buy a van or a truck less than 10,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. And avoid everything in terms of the CDL except for the physical. which you're probably getting anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most of us go once a year and get a physical, or many people do. And so you're already doing part of it. You've got a truck, and yeah, you could find a lot of demand for white glove type service, or specialty, or I mean, you could really get into a niche market and make a living for yourself just doing final mile delivery for folks. You absolutely could.
Absolutely. And that's not going away. That's only
No.
going to grow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand that the used market is tight right now, but even then, you know, I am sure there are people looking to unload vehicles. So I guess how would they go about doing that if they were, you know, looking to sell?
Well, we see a lot of trucks for sale on places like Craigslist and places like Facebook Marketplace, and those are generally a single owner with a single truck, you know, wanting to sell it. They limit themselves a little bit, right, by geography and whatnot, and viewership when they do those things. But you know, there are other larger services like truck, tractor, trailer, which is unique in their approach. But they could list it on truck, tractor, trailer for, you know, $150 and get exposure to a nationwide audience for their truck, right? And the buyer would come to them financed already, and the buyer, you know, could select to have the truck inspected, or to buy insurance on the truck, or get the truck delivered to them right through the portal, and then it makes the buy-sell transaction for the seller and the buyer extremely easy and fluid and smooth. And neither one has to do anything but get on their laptop, right, from both sides. So, but yeah, that's one of the things, right, that really has picked up over the pandemic period, and it was already growing, but it got on hyperdrive. The shopping online, and whoever thought that would become a big thing. But I mean, if you think about it, you say, well, I'm not spending $50,000 on a vehicle without seeing it in person, but it happens on Carvana every single day. You know, it doesn't take long for a used pickup truck, for instance, that costs $50,000, right? And a tractor could be $50,000. It's the same amount of money out of pocket, but people are buying vehicles sight unseen by the thousands every single day.
Greg, I have friends who bought their house online during the pandemic. It blew me away that they would do it. And they said, well, you know, we didn't expect to, but you know, this is what it was. And they said, listen, we did a virtual tour of the house. I mean, we, you know, every single room, we saw it, you know, perfectly. So what's the problem? I mean, I see why it's not the same way. If you're putting every, you know, the picture, the specs, everything, you could walk them through the cab. It's just, you could sell a truck online. It's no different. And like you say, you know, you're not even limiting, you have the entire nation to choose from. You're not limiting yourself to, you know, your specific geographic area.
Your area, right. Yeah, and as long as there's an unbiased third-party inspection available, which, you know, you can ask for. Certainly, if you're buying a house, you don't buy a house without a home inspection, and you know, probably having an inspection on the truck is good too. It's a little, you know, it's a little bit of extra cost, but it's a peace of mind.
Yes.
But it proves to you that the pictures weren't lying and the specs weren't lying, and you know, and other, you know, that the truck is roadworthy, that it will pass a DOT inspection, that it's not throwing fault codes, right? All the electronics are working, the engine's firing exactly as it should, that the odometer being listed, the mileage is correct, because you pick that up on an electronic inspection as well. So yeah, all of those things come together, and there's really nothing else a buyer could need, Right? I mean, it really is. You get videos and pictures and all the diagnostics in the world that are available. You know that truck better than anybody by the time you're ready to pull the trigger. So, yeah,
And
there's no reason not to, I guess.
no, there isn't. And again, I mean, that's why a trucktractortrailer.com just makes more sense than a Craigslist or even a Facebook.
Yeah, oh, sure. And even just some of the listing services that are out there that just list the vehicle aren't nearly as comprehensive in terms of information available about the vehicle.
That's what you need.